The government, aka a court, cannot prevent the press from publishing information or expressing opinions. Right to publish, an actual right. Media outlets have the right to choose what they want to report on and publish free from government mandates or restrictions or pressure. It also protects the ability to gather information, including accessing sources and conducting investigations. Now, if you consider yourself part of America, or you believe in America, or you have this weird thought that you are an American, then freedom of press is a fundamental principle guaranteeing the right of the individual and media organizations to publish and disseminate information without government censorship or interference. It ensures that news outlets can report on the matters of public interest, investigate wrongdoing, and hold those in power accountable. The freedom is crucial for a well-informed public and a functioning democracy. Fundamental. Once again, the First Amendment has the right to publish and share information, opinions, and thoughts without censorship or restraint. No censorship and no restraint. It limits the government's regulation of the press and private speech, not government regulation of government speech. They also don't usually apply to private entities' actions. So, if you work for the government and you take a loyalty oath, swearing your loyalty to these principles, these fundamental principles that I've just outlined, or that the First Amendment outlined 300 years ago, if you swear you're loyal to those principles, how can you possibly be harassed or bring criminal charges up on somebody who is simply going the American way and living by these principles? And it doesn't make sense, right? Here, this will make it make more sense, just so you can kind of see what the web is, and
That is the colossal iceberg floating in the deep sea. The tip you see above the water is surface web.
Just real quick clarification, okay? So everything above this line right here is America, right? Everything that is above there is what makes America, America. Like every single published video Lane Myers has ever put out, or you have put out, or every single college website that has anybody's information on it, Shannon Walker, is all up here. Now, it is not against America's laws and rules and any principle to take something from up here and keep it up here. Like reposting previously published information about somebody and keep it up here. But in China, that is illegal and you can't do it. So again, a principle you swore to uphold and actually protect, and not just have that principle as part of your beliefs, but to protect it. You're doing the exact opposite. You're attacking that principle and trying to make this country more like China. That is against your oath. You are a traitor to America, and everybody that's helping in the prosecution is as well. Now, the only exception to that is somebody using this American system of publishing and free press to incite violence to hurt somebody, right? Now, there's no proof Lane Myers ever did that because you haven't shown us any. And two, there's no proof of it because there's no proof of it. Nobody got violent. No crimes were committed because of Lane Myers' words and this program that we subscribe to called publishing and free press. So there's no case. The only thing that we can assume is that you want this country to be like China.
The glitzy, glossy stuff everyone knows, kind of like the front row at a red carpet event. It's the front page of the magazine, where everything is on full display. Here you're scrolling through Instagram, watching P. Diddy's latest party posts, thanking Beyoncé for dropping a new single, laughing at last night's meme recap, and keeping up with the juiciest celeb news. You might be checking $0 deals on Temu, asking the weirdest questions on Reddit,
watching Lane Myers take bong rips and talk about his legal stuff.
The surface web, also called the visible, indexed, or light net, is where we hang out daily. It's packed with familiar sites like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. This visible layer is only the top slice of the iceberg. The deeper you go, the more hidden layers lie beneath, waiting to be explored. Beneath the surface lies the Burgy web, where things start to get a little murky.
For clarification again, in America, if you were to take somebody's information that were on this murky part and move it up to the top part where it's published in free press and whatever, that would be getting somebody's information, and that would be illegally publishing somebody's personal private information. And again, though, the crime wouldn't be in publishing the information. It would be in the way that you got it, because you'd have to commit a crime to get that information off this murky part of the web. So again, it doesn't make sense. Even if you accidentally misunderstand freedom of the press and you made a mistake or whatever, it still doesn't make sense, because this would be the crime that they would be prosecuted for, not publishing it. Basically, after 16,000 of us have already told you that it's wrong, when you finally listen to that one person who you think has some authority above you that's going to tell you the exact same thing and actually has power to punish you for it, to believe it, you don't have a reason or an option to say you misunderstood. Shannon, Matt, Rachel, Doug, Danielle, all of you.
This layer of the internet is filled with sites that don't show up in your everyday searches, like those sneaky piracy sites where you can binge watch your favorite movies or snag the latest games without paying a dime. If you're in a country like China, where YouTube is blocked, the Burgi Web is your gateway to finding that content. It's also home to...
Does everybody understand now? No? Okay, let me explain. All this stuff that Lane Myers is being prosecuted for in America is legal. It's not in China. If we're going to make this country more like China, then we need to prosecute Lane Myers. But if we want to keep it a free American society like we have been for the last hundreds of years, then we need to free Lane Myers and prosecute the people who continue to think that this place is going to be more Chinese than it is American. Period. There's no other way to go about it, dude. Free Lane Myers.
Encourage his followers to contact her work address, her work phone number, and then he would put it onto his YouTube page, and then he put it up there, and he would encourage his followers to contact her, in which they did, and they left her harassing messages that also ranged from things like wanting her to be raped and killed. And so these messages kept coming in. He was made aware of these messages. He's indicated numerous times that he was aware that his followers were reading these type of messages, and yet he continued to put up her information during this time and causing those followers to continue that contact with her. So he had initial contacts with her where he left her that message. He went to the law school looking for her, but then he also would use his social media to encourage followers to continue that contact.
Do you understand that all of that would have made her fear for her safety, Mr. Meyer? Then do you have any other reason why she would fear for her safety?
Now, it really pisses me off that this fucking judge cut Lane Myers off when he was about to explain what I'm about to show you. But Mr. Myers was going to explain she doesn't understand the oath, because under the oath of just being an American, being alive, it's scary. You know what I mean? It's scary to be an American. So just figuring that out because of some phone calls does not mean prosecute somebody, and it absolutely means you don't understand your oath. Here is an example of the oath we took, just being born as Americans and remaining in this free country, right? Without any phone calls or whatever. This is how it is now, every day, on an everyday basis, daily. This is how it is.
Because she doesn't understand that she's...
Yeah. Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible. Personally, when it comes to rights, I think one of two things is true. I think either we have unlimited rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward unlimited rights. I feel, for instance, I have the right to do anything I please. But if I do something you don't like, I think you have the right to kill me. So where are you going to find a fairer fucking deal than that? So the next time some asshole says, gee, I have a right to my opinion, you say, oh yeah? Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away. Thank you.
Now, for anybody who didn't know that this is how America is and that can be a possibility, are you now that you've realized this because of watching my video, are you now going to go claim to the government that I am criminally harassing you just because I brought to attention the possibility or the reality of what a free press does or is, or what can happen in America with freedoms? Because I just now made you realize that. Do you think I'm harassing you and it's because of this video? Or do you think it's because you have a misunderstanding of what you are and swore to and promised to do as an American or as an employee of the government? You promised that you would be okay with this stuff and that you would defend this principle, right? I'm not, you can't bring harassment charges on me for just making you realize this, okay? So fuck Shannon, fuck everybody who's involved in any part of the prosecution. You guys are all traitors. You can all go to hell. And no, it's not a threat because hell is an actual destination. Shut the fuck up.
Till the well go dry. One wheel for the clock that we live within. I feel like your father, discipline. It's unconvincing when I tell him that hell ain't nothing but a place in Michigan. Two wheels in the gutter, engine revving. I feel like your mother. Listen, suggestion.